Hello and welcome. My name is Max. This is Factorio Space Age, and we are having a good time. So, it's been a while. It's been a while since the last episode, and things have changed. Strategies been updated. Dispositions have been revamped, or stuff like that. Fancy things basically. So, what are we gonna do? What we have done? Let me show you what I've been done since our last episode. What is going on here? I'm sure you're familiar with this starter base. Remember this? When we created this thing and this starter base, it's much like a starter hub, really. It creates some basic circuits, engines, pipes, and whatnot, some modules, much needed modules. Thank you very much. And we have 3 of them. How amazing is that? And then we have these foundries here. I love foundries. They are amazing. And they're hard at work, producing much needed metallurgic science packs that then will be shipped back to Nauvis for some wholesome research. And that's what we did together. Okay, all these tiny things in the middle. What we didn't do together and what I did alone was this. Look at this. Look at this monstrosity. All right, yeah, this is the alt mode. So big mining drill. They are big indeed, and they are also fast. If you look at this, it's hard at work. Can you read the speed? Mining speed 2.5 per second. And the productivity is 280%, which is insane. Plus the 50% resource drain. Now, why is this? Because of, where is it? This one. Mining productivity is already at level 28, I suppose. That's why 29 is available for research. We're not going to do this. 27k puts a lot of strain on our miserly science production back home. Let's quickly check out what's going on at home. So remember, this is the science bus, and this is the science bus. This is the main bus, and everything goes on this bus except except the science from space, this one. A space science pack and metallurgic that comes from Vulcanus. Okay, these two come here. We will also see about these things that will be added gradually. And then this was our science bus. And as we move forward, more and more items are added to this bus, and then we will have bifurcations and our little research center, which will be updated because this is not efficient by any measure of imagination, but it has to do for now. 4 of these, and I think I left the system running a little bit, so I think we have plenty of science buffered. Yeah, okay. So what's the point? Why am I doing this? All right, let's go back. Ever since the last episode, I tried to get myself acquainted a little bit more with Vulcanus's technology. So in Vulcanus, or Vulcanus, what you do is that you take lava and you process it. You use calcite for the processing. You turn some into molten iron. Very noble, very good. And you turn some into molten copper. Now, why would you do that? What's the point of doing that? Well, there's a good reason for that. Because then you can use those molten things to craft items. Look at this. Everything almost can be crafted. Plates, bars, gears, whatever, from those molten stuff. So, thank you. Wow, what a cute little robot. So by having a lot of molten iron and molten copper, we can basically have a versatile factory going. And you might be thinking, Max, why the molten iron production line is a bit longer than molten copper? There's a very tiny reason for that. It's like a bit inconvenient to think about how this works, but also seems like I need to plug this in. But look at this. The formula for iron is we put in 500 lava, 1 calcite, we get 10 stone and 250 molten iron. So remember that remember the 10 stone. Now for the copper, this is 15 stone. So we kind of produce more stone when we do copper. And because we need to get rid of the stone, we only have so much bandwidth at this point with our bulk inserter and the express transport belt. For 45 items per second. And this bend right over here just does a lane balancing. So we use both sides of this belt. Let's see if I can empty this. See, we have some molten iron in the pipeline already. Let's just get rid of it and see everything work. Yeah. So what these things do, they take some calcite from the middle. They process it like so, and then they just put the stone here, which then goes into lava, and goodbye. And that's the whole situation. It's going to be the same with copper, but copper gives us more stone to get rid of. All right, you get the gist. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to build these. It's easy. You just put, it's like you can do it however you like. There's no set formula for how to do this. The way I did it, I used these undergroundies and these weird kind of bends over here to manage the lane balancing. And calcite is literally infinite because we use so little of it at this point. Okay. At this point being the keyword here. Later on is going to be crazy. Now, that's not everything we need. We also need some other stuff. What do we need? Remember when we produced so little of heavy oil and this thing, lubricant and plastic and sulfur and those kind of things? Remember that? Not anymore. Now we use this. The heavy oil cracking to light oil. First of all, a lot of heavy oil production going on here. No beacons, just some speed modules put inside of them. Very, very primitive build, okay? And then it's just like having oil, nice oil. And what we do with this is that we just manage it the way we managed it on Nauvis. How? We put them in tankers, in these storage tanks. We connect them, you see this green wire around here. We attach all of them together. We just simply pick this up, bam, 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 bam. We attach them. We connect these to this medium electric pole, so it tells us how much of this heavy oil we have. And then we connect it to this radar because we want to have it available to us wirelessly across this surface. And yes, it's only going to be available across this surface. We cannot read what we have here from Nauvis or any other planets. Now, after we know how much heavy oil we have, we can manage, turn some of it into lubricant. Same deal with lubricant and putting it on radar, or let's say wireless circuit network, logistic network. We crack some of it into light oil. Water, heavy oil turns into light oil. What we do with this, of course, again, put it here in some of these tanks. Then we do some cracking into petroleum gas. And petroleum gas is very useful, super useful. Ultimately, many things come from the petroleum. Look, the tanks are empty. Why? Because we are using the petroleum like crazy. Okay, I've tried to put them in a neat manner over here just so it's like easier on the eyes. And here, what we do with the petroleum, two main things. First of all, we need solid fuel. Why? Because solid fuel is useless. Now, why are we producing it then? Because we need to immediately, and I mean immediately, turn it into rocket fuel. Rocket fuel takes some of this solid fuel produced from petroleum, so the petroleum goes here, and then the light oil, or the remainder of it, comes here. Some of it gets cracked into this, some of it comes directly here, and they are being combined into rocket fuel. And the rocket fuel is super precious. We save it, we store it, we cherish it. Why? Because we need a lot of it to send out these rockets. Why do we need to send out these rockets on Vulcanus? Good question. Because Vulcanus has a few good things that we care about. One of them is the big mining drill. We want to spam every other planet with the big mining drill. Why? Because they are fast, they are huge, and they have resource drain that's capped at 50%. And then also we benefit from the mining productivity. What else? Easy. Foundry. Where's our little foundry production? It's here. Oh, look how many foundries we have. It's the foundry party, literally. So we also need to be able to send these to other planets. Imagine having some of these foundries back in Nauvis. What a party will that be if we go back here and get rid of this mess of a situation and replace them with foundries. Or better yet, maybe just ditch this whole main bus and create another bus or a train network that runs on stations that operate using the foundry. Possibilities, it's endless. Okay, let's go back. What else do we need rockets for? And this one rocket, by the way, won't do. On this planet, on this beautiful planet, we have another thing. Oops, did I just ruin this? Thank you very much. Maybe I can undo that. Oh no, maybe I should redo that. I don't know. I'll take care of this later. What were you, buddy? Were you producing this or this? I think it was this. Yeah, yeah. If I just looked at here, I would know how many pipes we have. This is crazy. Anyway, that was inconvenient. We also need to send out science, and we also need to send out a lot of transport belts, okay? Transport, the green one, the good one. But we are in no rush to infest all other planets with those things. Also tungsten plate, we need to send some of that up. What do we need to do right now is to have an MVP, minimum viable product. What is that? Just a bunch of these rocket silos with some rockets that are operational, so we can send some stuff up. Another thing we need to send up is this. Where is it? All right, I found it. It's right here. Cliff explosives. We have a lot of them. Cliffs are no longer a problem. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Let's go back and let's see what we have here. So we have a lot of these rocket fuels. Okay, and one more thing that is super important is plastic. So we also have some plastic available because we have coal, we have petroleum gas, our plastic is also sorted. So what's the plan now? Are we going to build a huge factory here? No. Even though we thought we're going to do that, I have changed my mind. I think this is enough of a starter base or MVP for Vulcanus at the moment. Oh, look at this worm. What we are going to do is that we need to go visit other planets. And what are they? They are this one, Fulgora and Gleba. Now, why do we need to go visit these two planets? There's a good reason for that. So we were here, we had like very basic technology, okay? We came here and suddenly we found the big mining drill, we found cliff explosives, the foundry. These are game changers when it comes to basic building material. But on their own, if we took our time and started building factories and everything just using these, we had to still use some primitive technology like this thing right here. We have to use an assembly machine to create something called rocket fuel, but rocket fuel can also be produced in some other ways and using some other technologies. Okay, so I'm not going to spoil it more than this, but if instead of staying here like we did on Nauvis and creating a huge base, we rush our way to Gleba and Fulgora, both of these, and try to just get there and unlock the planet and what it has to offer, the basic technologies, then we will have all the technologies we need until mid-game, so we can refactor all our factories in a nice way and get ready for Aquilo. And then we go to Aquilo and we'll see what it has to offer. But at this moment, we have the technology to visit these two, so let's just do it, okay? And how are we going to support ourselves and our factories when we don't have plenty of things going on Vulcanus? Let's say there's no blue circuit factory around here. How are we going to do this? It's easy. We'll just use this landing pad or cargo landing pad, and we'll send as much blue circuits as we need from Nauvis. Let's see how much of blue circuits we have. I think we're good. I think we're good for now. And I hear Fulgora has a nice surprise when it comes to circuits and stuff. So let's go there. And when we go there, this happens. Look at this. This is obviously from Gleba. This is from Fulgora. And there are some other technologies that we will unlock there. Look at this thing. Look at this massive thing. Electromagnetic plant. We need this. What else do we need? This device, biochamber. I love to get my hands on this productivity module 3. Get my hand on this and level 5, the legendary level quality, so we can get started on the quality game that we've postponed for so long. I love to get this one. Do you know how easy would it become to build things around the moment we have our hands on the Spidertron? And there's another thing that I absolutely love. Oh, the mech. The mech armor, give me this. This will make us literally invincible. And there's one more thing that I absolutely love to have. This thing right here, stack inserter. This is a literal game changer. Stack inserter means, and it has levels until we have 4 on a single belt. This means we can quadruple the bandwidth of a single belt. Let's say our yellow belt supports 15 items per second, right? When we get the stack inserter with full upgrade, this will be quadrupled, meaning one yellow belt, one miserly yellow belt with 15 items per second can easily support as much as what a turbo transport belt does right now without stacking. What will this do? I'm not just going to talk about it. We have to go see it. We have to go see what happens. But yeah, that's going to be insane to say the least. And so I need to get my hands on all those things before I start to create blueprints for factories and stuff. I'm not even going to talk about this. No, I refuse to even talk about this because this is so good. I'm just like, no, not going to happen. This is also good for our rail system, the elevated rail. And yeah, that's going to be it. And we should go make those things happen. One of the things I also like about Fulgora is this. So if you pay attention, we have electromagnetic science pack. These 6 science packs, we have them all in Nauvis. These are good. We got them. These are sorted. This one, Fulgora. We need this. So yeah, that also makes us want to go to Fulgora first, maybe. So here's the game plan. We're in Vulcanus. We've used bots to spam a starter base and some basic factories here, but mainly spamming bots. We are going to go to Fulgora next, unlock whatever it has to offer, go to Gleba next. By the way, bot spam all the way. Then Gleba, bot spam Gleba all the way, get all this tech, and then we're going to talk. All right? Okay, I'll see you in the next episode.